Hi again. Here we are to talk about React. And in the last video, we refactored our code a little bit and we kind of cleaned it up so it works a little better. We refactored the block of JSX here into a single component. We also set the key value. Oops, wait. You know what? I thought I fixed that key value, and I think that I actually added the problem in again because I didn't set the key. Let's fix that, right? Sorry, I was working a little fast there. The children need to have a key. So I'm not putting the key on counter. Instead, I had copied and pasted the key over here. So actually, I'm going to take this out and remove it from the div here. And up here on counter, I'll paste it. Oops, I guess I didn't copy it. We'll just write it in here, right? So we'll say key equals index. And hopefully that will fix the warning here, right? So if I make a new counter, then yeah, I'm not getting the key problem anymore. Okay, great. So we just moved the key up to counter component from inside the counter component, right? So let's talk about a refactor that we can do to make the code here like a little more legible and easier to read. So JavaScript, the new ES6 lets us deconstruct properties. The props object is a parameter for this function, and it's an object, and we can deconstruct it into the values or the key value, the key and value pairs, right, that are there, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to make temporary variables or parameter variables out of the object. So what we'll do is we'll replace the object here with the curly braces. And I know that there is a value object here, so I can put the name here. I know there's a name object on props, so I can put name here. And what JavaScript will do is it will deconstruct the props object into these values. So if we have a name here like Smith, right, then that's not a value on props, so this would be undefined. But if the name here matches one of the properties of the object that you're passing in, then JavaScript creates a new temporary variable and assigns it the value of that key on the object. So we had another value here called index, and then we also had increment and decrement. So I'll put this one here, and I'll put this one here. And this is a little long on line 1, but now that we've done this here, we can get rid of props dot everywhere else. And then that kind of cleans up the code down here a lot and makes this a lot cleaner and easier to read. Okay, so let's give that a test there just to make sure it works. There, I made a new timer. Everybody's still working, right? So that's kind of a quick improvement, right? Like this code is a lot easier to read, and we just have the variables defined up here. We can see exactly what's coming in. If it says props up there, we're not sure what values it has, but I can just read them now. Okay, so one more thing. Another way that we can improve this is I know that the counter object, and if you remember, counter object has, if I go to the reducer here, our counter object looks like like this right here, right? It's just got a name and it's got a value. So it has two properties, name and value. And what we can do is for name and value here, we can deconstruct these into this counter object, right? So if we include I'm going to take those out. If we say ... counter, this actually I got to wrap that in the curly braces. This kind of does the same thing. So it takes all of the properties of counter, which are name and value, and then it deconstructs them into key value pairs like these, right? So if we do that, let me save this, right? And then we can test it here. I can do MMM, and then I've made another counter, right? And that's kind of good. In our case, we're just saving the two properties, so it saves us one line of code. Maybe I'll actually leave that one the way that it was, but that's kind of an option. So, maybe I can do this. We'll put this in as a comment. So in React, if you're in a JSX block, you got to do the comment like this. It's got to be an expression, and then you use a block comment. So another option here is to deconstruct to counter. Okay. Yeah, why does that? For some reason, it doesn't like that. I got yeah, I got the comment wrong there. Anyway, anyway, I'll just leave that alone. That sometimes the comments confuse me on JSX. Anyway, so hopefully that's kind of useful information for you, and thanks for watching.